So here we are today once again with our AMD APU setup. Now I just want to go through the specs real quick on this one. What we've got going on here is the ASUS ROG Crossblade Ranger motherboard. We've got 16 gigs of DDR3 clocked at 2133. Now this is 1600 megahertz RAM that I've overclocked to 2133 rather. I do have a kit of 2400, but it's only an 8 gig kit, so 2x4, and the problem with that is it's limited in memory capacity. So you get 6 gigs for the system and 2 gigs for the iGPU. I would much rather have as much RAM as possible for the system and then still have the full 2 gigs available for the iGPU for the best performance possible. The difference from 2133 to 2400 isn't substantial, but going from 1600 to 2133 is massive on an APU. It's running a quad-core setup at turbos up to 4.3, but under 3D loads, unless you're aware, all of the APUs drop down to 3 gigahertz. So the CPU speed really only helps in CPU-based applications, so desktop applications, or once you move over to using a dedicated graphics card. So 3 gigahertz under 3D rendering loads, and the full 8 CUs are running at 975 megahertz thanks to a turbo feature built into the motherboard. So with all of that out of the way, let's see if we can run Prey. And okay, here we are. There we go. We are loaded into Prey, and we are at, let's see, go ahead and pull it up. And yes, I am using a controller while we do this because of the low frame rates that we're going to be running. Alright, so we're at 1080p medium settings. So that's kind of going to be our starting point here. What we're going to do is go through and see where we run at each setting and then drop it until we find a comfortable setting, and then we're going to play for a little bit and see just how it runs. So 1080p medium, 20 FPS and lower, so from what I've seen so far, between 15 and 20 FPS. Not exactly what I'd call playable. Still looks decent though. Oh, wrong button. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop the preset down. We're going to drop it down to low 1080p, then we're going to drop down to 900, then 720. Now one thing I'm going to do is edit out the loading, because every time I change the preset, it is going to change the it's going to have to reload all the textures, so bear with me. So I'll have to edit all those parts out, so that way you're not sitting here for quite a while. See, there it goes. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so there we go, 1080p low, and now we've jumped 5 FPS. That's a pretty good jump. And this is a more demanding area of the game because it is going to be quite open. You can see quite far. You can see it does load all the textures in the background. It looks... frame rate's just low. Like, that's low. Alright, so let's see here. We're going to drop it down to... We're going to go back down to 900p, so 1600 by 900. And drop it there, and we're going to go back up to a medium preset. Alright, so we're back here. We up the drop the resolution, up the settings. So let's see how we end up here. Alright, so 1600 by 900 at high gets us, or medium, gets us the same performance as 1080p at low. So we're able to, if you can stomach 20 FPS, you can get a higher preset with a slightly lower resolution that isn't going to really detract too terribly much. Oh, I don't want to be seen while we're doing this. Not what we want to do. We'll go back after we can get this semi-playable. All right, let's drop the. Let's drop the preset down to low and see where we end up. Alrighty, let's get back in here. Ah, look at that. 1600 by 900, and now we're approaching 30 FPS. So 25 to 30. So I guess if we wanted to look out there all night, we could get some playable frame rates. Again, whenever I said earlier using a controller, a game like this and performance the way it is on an APU, something like a controller helps smooth it out so much because you don't really get that sensation of mouse lag that you would get from lower frame rates. Alright, so alright, that's how we see there. Let's see about 1280 by 720, and we're gonna bump it back up to medium when we go down there. And there's gonna be a lot of people like, oh Keith, 720p. You know, a lot of these APUs run at 720p, okay. Alright. That's smoothed out quite a bit, actually. Of course, looking back over here, we're still dropping just under 30. Let's see, and that's with medium. I wonder if I drop it down to low if we can go ahead and fight off that Phantom. Yeah, he's still running around over in there. Video. Now, admittedly, dropping the settings down to low isn't exactly ideal. I mean, nobody wants to set out to play a game at 720p at low settings. But, oh, that's much nicer. Alright, let's see if we can take him on. Alright, come on, Phantom. Let's see here. Take that. Beat you with my screwdriver. Or wrench. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh. Yeah, take that, sucker. Alright, at this point, we're just going to play through the game for a bit. And I'll catch you guys later.
Good morning, Tyler. As a reminder, all personnel must complete monthly physicals during their stay aboard Talos 1. Dr. DeVries promises to make them as quick and painless as possible.
Scanning target. No Typhon material detected.
The code to your office is 0451. Welcome back. This has been your home for the last 3 years. The video should be on your workstation.